So, once again, if you're watching this, you know what you're here for. The true nostalgic gold of the nostalgia. Oh yes, of the past as well as my childhood. Again, I'm not going to try and present it as it was dealt or done as it was in my childhood. And, yeah, also, hey you folks, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian Barnett Godson. Welcome back, folks, one and all, to The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. And in the last episode, well, we not only got the fire torch, or the fire rod, which is also known as the fire torch. Yeah, believe it or not, it is. Even though they don't exactly do that in the English version. But I think they actually upgraded it in another version called The Link Between Worlds. A.k.a. Fire Rod, a.k.a. Fire Torch. Which is basically what it is anyway. Only the difference between the ice rod and the fire rod is the ice rod is just an ice rod. It's not an ice torch. It doesn't ice torch anything. Although that would be something. Very something. But anyway. So, have you ever always been like, every now and again, you're like, man, why am I always so hungry? So before you know it, all of a sudden, you're going to the bathroom. More than you probably should be doing. You catch my drift. You know, going the usual, excuse me. Excuse me. So, I remember back in the old day when you couldn't actually sing, but, you know. But even then, you just got to be careful what you're actually singing. Oh, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Because, see, even though it's my own version of it, it doesn't really mean I'm trying to mock at it or anything. Sometimes, you know, you can, if it's a terrible song, I guess, in your own opinion, but, you know. Also, another thing I want to talk about is anime. I saw this thing on the internet where you look it up, and I wasn't even looking specifically. What's the best anime to watch on Crunchyroll? No such thing. They're all the best. Like, what would you recommend? Well, I'm going to tell you this. While there's quite a few I could recommend personally, if you like the preferences I like when it comes to the anime I like or show, whatever, but you know, with all the languages included, which because if you know, I don't know, all of them don't come with that. Sometimes when they arrive, they don't have all the languages, and sometimes they do. But highly above anything else, even if it doesn't have it, I will always highly recommend all of them. All of them. Doesn't matter if they don't have English dub, other dubs, it doesn't matter. They're all great. Without this Japanese sub-dub, we wouldn't even have what we have. You're basically not being grateful. That doesn't mean you have to watch them, but you ought to be grateful that they're there. Like, so they don't come with English dub, so they don't come with some other dub that has nothing to do with your language. So it, you know, so it comes in Japanese, Spanish, Spaniard, you know, French, Russian, all that. You know, and some of them just come with a few languages. You know, even though it would be nice if all of them had, like, you know, for the hearing impaired, but they don't. You know. So, I mean, like, if you want it to show on the screen, it has to be in another language, which is crazy as hell, if it even shows up for the subtitles. And a lot of times it doesn't, you know, all it says it has subtitles, and sometimes it's just like, well, you might see an option, the only one option for English, but it still doesn't do anything. So, how do you know what they're saying? You don't. Unless you're Braille. I think. I don't know. Or unless you can follow the movements of what they're actually saying. Or if you could actually see. You know. mean, I'm sure it's kind of not hard to figure out what's going on, but it's what they're saying as opposed to why they're doing it. You know, that's the biggest thing, is why they're doing it. What was the point? Because he was the bad guy. How are you gonna know that unless they put it in some kind of, you know, subtitles or something, you know? It's not gonna give you a clue just because it's on screen. See, unlike in the old days, where you could actually tell, and this is back before animation and all that, especially as good as it's come. It's come so good that you can't even tell unless it's in, you know, subtitles. So, again, if you're looking for something like that, then you know, you're not in the right place. I don't know what to tell you. Me personally, like I said, I would highly recommend all of them. They're all the best. It also depends on what your preference is as well. Like my preference, for me, for some of us out here who prefer it, we like to have, there's few or all the languages. I like either one both ways as long as it's got more than one language on it. Otherwise, I have no reason to watch them whatsoever. Not to say I won't check them out from time to time, just depends on what mood I'm in. But again, my preference is the best there is for me. You know, whatever fits me. It's like the same thing of like, what's the best combination of the battle characters you have in any game, whether it's Final Fantasy or something else. And I'm going to tell you, this is going to sound like it's against females, but it's not. It doesn't matter whether it's females or males or all female, except that one thing about Suikoden and Final Fantasy you're going to find, I mean a lot of it, majority of it, is that you're going to find that there's going to be at least one male, because that's what they have to have, is one male. It's probably going to sound like I'm against males too, but I'm not. I'm just saying that's the way they're set up. They're pre-set up that way. You have to actually have a male in there. So, yeah. Unfortunately. But it doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing, but, you know, I have different parties, setups, but I ultimately go with what I want to. Sometimes I experiment, sometimes I don't. No big deal. Anyway, so, what we want to do here is, I'm glad we got healed up there. There's also another place you can get healed up, which I did not think that was going to be. Oh, hey, that's right. Ha ha ha. Yes. Now, like I said before, there was a place we had to go to come through here. Ooh. Yeah, we're not on the right spot. Have to be careful because we don't want to fall off, so. Yeah, I did not know this many years ago. I discovered it, like, at the end of the game, there was kind of a hint. Aha. So, I actually am going to do this. Save state. So I want to save state. Because I don't want to have to keep going in and out just to do this. But you could. Let's see. I could do this. And there you go. But there's numerous ways of doing it as long as you get it right. And then you got yourself another heart. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Now, we're going to need one more item to fill up our completion of items. And then I think that's when the Y goes away. I'm not really sure on that. So, we also need this item anyway to take on Crystal 7 as well as Crystal 5. So we can't complete the 2 crystals without it. Or something like that. Yeah, okay, that's the thing. In here, you might as well know that, yeah, there's a fairy in there. It's not one you can capture, but you can if you need to fill up your hearts again. I am going to go this way. Of course not. It doesn't really matter. So, that's a cave over there that we'll check out here just momentarily. For now, I'm also going to save state again because I want to... Yep. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I believe, is... Just in case I get this wrong, I think this is what it needs, is this. Boom. 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 And there it is. You actually have to do this in order to get into here. It's crazy that what we gotta fight up against, we can't even really protect ourselves unless we have, like, the Cane of Byron. And we have to have the Cane of Byron before we get another way to properly defend ourselves. Now this, right here, yeah. So if you do this right, yep. And we got another piece of heart. Nice. And the good thing about it as well is those balls don't go, you know, back and forth. They just go round and round. So, now what we're going to do is we need to fill up our magic. Good thing about this, as well, is that we can actually... Oh no. I can't do that. But I think if I go here, I think there might be something here. And I don't remember, but you know, it doesn't really matter anyway. We're gonna get to the bird anyway. Ooh, yeah, those guys you can actually grind on too if you want to. Yeah, ooh, nice. Okay. Alright, never mind, we don't need to. I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna have 2 more upgrades before it's over with. Where am I going? I forgot now. What was I doing? I think it was here that I wanted to go. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that because I want to fill up my magic. Might as well go ahead and grind for some rupees before we actually take on the crystal. You know? Yep. So at least we're well prepared before we go up against Turtle Rock. Okay. So, I'll go ahead and go over there and another thing you don't know is that if you're lucky, which even though it doesn't really matter because you can't get to them, sometimes you can get these guys to go off like like that, or you know, except they do a better sound with it than me. Come on. Okay. And probably would be nice if they kind of disappeared, but ooh, we're looking at 13 minutes. We're just going to grind a little bit before we go into there. And, well, I would go ahead and go get my hearts filled up, but I ain't worried about it. As a matter of fact, we're going to go back to that world anyway, get our hearts filled back up, so I'm not worried about it. As long as that glitch doesn't happen either, like I really care, but, you know, yeah, anyway. Oh, I'm so heartbroken, I'm so angry, I'm going to stomp my foot, you know, and quaking my boots because a glitch just happened, which is very rare for this game. Oh my gosh. It's so rare that it doesn't happen as often as it probably should. You know, like as if it really matters, because it's like, oh, well, I accidentally got a heart. I mean, so even though it's like accidental, it's not really a bad thing necessarily. but it's like in a way like you're treating it like it's, oh my god, it is so terrible, it's bad, oh my god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with myself? Because I accidentally got it. It was so terrible. What the hell's wrong with me, man? What the hell was I thinking? I should have never done that. Like it really matters. You know, crazy as it seems, but yeah. What's the matter? You like? Oh well. I got a piece of heart, like I shouldn't have done. But the good thing as well is that we can go get our hearts filled up. I did not remember there being anything in there of chesticles of something in there, but I remember there might have been an item in there. But yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly do this, and then yeah, we're gonna call it another session because it's gonna take us quite a bit to get through 6. So, yeah. I mean, it's not like it's going to take us like several episodes, but it's going to take us quite a long journey in there. So, I want to go ahead and make sure I'm well off prepared, because our next and final destination for last equipment grinding, as well as, not equipment, but items, that's equipment, is going to be in Turtle Rock. Oh my god, is that a trick to behold. Yeah, so let's just finish this off with this, and then we'll, I don't even care that I didn't actually finish him off. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes that happens. There's nothing really to be like, oh, I'm so pissed about that. No. But it is what it is. So, let's go on and get ourselves a bit more rupees. And, oh yeah, it's almost time to end this video. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. If I do it just right, I can set myself up for a few more rounds, because we're going to need it for all of them just to even navigate through them again. Even though there's going to be a lot that we can go ahead and bypass. So, there's one particular place I need to get over with, because I don't want to have to go do it again just to go through it. It's a pain in the butt as it is, even if you actually go there in the actual sequence. So, it can be a little bit easier if you tackle it on beforehand. And that's in Crystal 7. So, the boss itself as well, I need to take it out, but I will. Anyway, that's about all the time that we have for this episode, and I'm going to save it right here. Which, if you have save states, I recommend that. Or you can definitely say, save and quit, because we're going to be restarting over anyway, as far as where to go to. So I'm not really worried about that I don't have all my hearts up. So, but anyway, that's all the time we have for this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, later!